Hello everyone, this is Mayank Sangvi from VLearn.com and I'm back with another Tableau tutorial video, and in this video we will learn how to create our first data source connection. For this video we are going to refer to this blog post. The blog post URL is available in the description of this video, or you can click on this notification icon. For our first data source connection we will use a text file. To download the text file, you need to visit the blog post and then you need to click on this download URL. This is a text file, and in this text file we have cartoon character names. In this text file we have 6 columns. All the columns are separated via tab delimiter. So let's see how to create a data source connection using cartoon character.txt file. For this, I'm going to open Tableau Public Desktop. So this is Tableau Public Desktop and we are on Start page or Start screen. To create a data source connection using a text file, you need to click on Text File. Text File option is available on the connection pane under the section 2 of File. Click on Text File. It is going to open file dialog. In open dialog box, navigate to the location for your file and then select your file. So my file is available on desktop, so that's why I'm going to select desktop and then I'm going to click on. I'm going to select my cartoon character.txt file and then finally I'm going to click on open. So Tableau is smart enough to identify the column delimiter. So by default it is selected tab delimiter and it is displaying the data. We successfully created our first data source connection. Now let's understand the user interface for data source page. On the top we have menu bar, and then we have left sidebar. On the left sidebar at the top you can find quick access toolbar. In quick access toolbar we have option to perform undo and redo. We have an option to save, and then we have an option to refresh our data source. For personal, group or online training, contact us. Then you can find the connection information. Cartoon character is our connection. Next, you can find the available tables. Right now we are using a text file. In text file we have only one table. On the right you are able to see all the added tables for this connection. Again we are using a text file, so in our text file we have only one table, so that's why here you are able to see only one table. Based on edit table, on the bottom you are able to see the data available in the edit tables. So in our cartoon character.txt file we have 6 columns. The first column is the ID, next is the first name, last name, date of birth, created by, and gender. So let me quickly open my text file. So this is my cartoon character.txt file, and in this text file on the top we have header for our table. Okay, so again Tableau is smart enough to identify the header row. So based on the value, this value, Tableau created the appropriate header. So ID, first name, last name, date of birth, created by, and gender. And based on the camel casing, Tableau added a space between first name and last name. So let me delete this. So this first name is available in our text file, first name without space, but inside Tableau you are able to see the first name with n space. So next, above your data you have toolbar. On this toolbar the first option is for data. Okay, so by default it is selected and you are able to see the data for our current table. The next option is management data. So let me click on this second option. And if you are going to click on this, then you are able to see, so on metadata you are able to see the metadata information for all the columns. The first one is the ID, and Tableau is able to identify it as a number column. Okay, then for the first name and last name, Tableau again are able to identify it is a text column. For date of birth it is not a text column, so we are going to see how we are going to convert this in a date column in our future videos. Next is created by, again a text column. So let me confirm. Yes, created by. In created by we have creator name, so yes, it is a text column. And the last one is the gender. In gender we have male and F, again a text column. Okay, next option is for sorting. So let me quickly click on preview data source, and Then I'm going to change the sort fields. Okay, based on this option, our column is going to arrange. So let me click on A to Z. Okay, the first is created by, because C, then we have date of birth D, then first name F, gender G, ID, and then last name. Okay, we have option from A to Z ascending, Z to A descending, and A to Z ascending per table, Z to A descending per table. So let me switch back it to data source order. So this is the order of columns available in our text file. Next we have option for show alias. Now what is this? For this, let me quickly right click on this gender column and then I'm going to add aliases. Okay, for aliases, let's say for F I want to display female, so I'm going to add a alias value female. Similarly, for M I want to display a male. Finally, I'm going to click on OK. Now this show alias option is checked, so that's why you are able to see male and female. If this is unchecked, then you are able to see the original data. So this is the purpose of show alias. Next is the hidden field. Now let's say I don't want to display date of birth. I don't need to use date of birth in my report, so I can hide it. Okay, so for hiding a column, I'm going to right click on the column and then I'm going to select hide. My column is now hidden. What if I want to unhide my date of birth? For this, I'm going to click on this show hidden fields. Now I'm able to see date of birth. It is grayed out. To unhide my column, I'm going to right click on the column name and then I'm going to select unhide. Okay, so this is the functionality for show hidden field checkbox. So let me uncheck this and let me uncheck the show hidden field. The next option is the number of records. Right now in my text file we have 15 records. We can control how many records we want to preview on our preview data source section. Right now it is 15 is selected because in our text file we have 15 records. You can change it to, let's say for example 2. So based on your number of record value, Tableau is only going to fetch those number of records. Now what is the importance for this number of records? For example, let's say for your data source connection you have million of records. For data source editing, for cleaning, for modifying, for creating calculated column or for any other purpose, you don't need to fetch all the records. You only require some records, so you can check what type of data is coming in my column and based on that analysis transforming your data. Okay, so again for transforming or cleaning or for your data source connection or operation, you did not require to fetch all the records. So that's why in number of rows you can define a, let's say 1000 or let's say 5000 records. I only want to fetch 1000 or 5000 records out of millions. It helps Tableau to do less amount of work in bringing the data. Okay, so this is about the data source connection using text file. It is about data source user interface. We are going to learn more about data source user interface in our upcoming videos. In our next video, we are going to learn more about joins, and then we need to learn about calculated columns, split. We need to cover lots of things. Now, finally, before closing this video, let me click on this sheet tab. Okay, right now we are on data source page. Now I'm going to click on this sheet 1, go to worksheet. I'm going to click on this, then you are able to see your columns based on your selected data source. So right now we have only one data source and by default it is selected. So that's why you are able to see the columns for cartoon characters. In our cartoon characters, we don't have any measures. So that's why under measures, you are only able to see two measures. The first one is the number of records and the second one is the measure value. It is created by Tableau. Now under dimensions, we have our 6 columns and one measure name. Now let me quickly Again click on data source and let me hide the date of birth. I don't want this, so let me click on hide, and then I'm going to click on save. My date of birth is gone. Okay, so if you don't want to use any column, hide it. It will help to increase your productivity. Next, let me quickly add our data inside our worksheet. For this, I'm going to select first name, last name, and let's say gender. And then I'm going to add all these 3 columns just here. So it is created successfully. And if you want to arrange this, you need to arrange your columns. And I think you are able to see this small triangle icon. If you are able to see this small triangle icon, it means your last name is going to come before your gender column. If you are not able to see the triangle, it means you are overwriting the gender column. So let me show you. See, my gender column is gone. Now I want it back. So I am going to quickly perform an undo operation. Keyboard shortcut is Ctrl-Z. And again, I'm going to select last name and I'm going to move it just here. I'm able to see a triangle icon. Then once I see the triangle icon, I'm going to release my left mouse button. My columns are now arranged. Ctrl-Z to perform an undo and Ctrl-Y to perform a redo. So this is about our first data source connection, how to create a data source connection using a text file. So let me check whether we missed anything or not. We already discussed about user interface. One thing I missed is the text file properties. Right now, Tableau is selected the right delimiter for our text file. What if Tableau selected wrong delimiter? Then you need to manually define the right delimiter. For this, you need to select your text file and then you need to select text file properties. Here you can find the field separator. This is your delimiter, and the field separator you have option for comma, tab, semicolon, space, vertical bar, and other. Okay, so for other you can provide your own delimiter. So let's say I used a forward slash to separate my columns. So you can provide the forward slash and so on. Next option is for text qualifier. Then we have character set, and finally we have language. See, we changed the field separator and our entire thing is gone. So let me quickly change it back to 10. Now we have our correct. I hope you enjoyed this video. In our next video, we will learn how to create a data source using Excel file. We will also learn about joins in our next video. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to click on like, share it with everyone, provide your feedback, and see you all in next Tableau tutorial video. Some important URLs.